Hello, am I audible? Sure. So we want to compare CFA versus MBA. So I'll tell you broadly about CFA and then we'll move to MBA. Okay. So firstly, like I have been training for CFA for almost more than 8-9 years now and have been training for finance for almost 10 plus years. Right. So I have gone through every curriculum that is available in India right now for any finance course, the toughest one and the easiest one, whether it is MBA from the best colleges that you might be targeting, IIMs, or maybe from like tier 2, tier 3 universities. More or less, I'll tell you the curriculum is same. The books, like books are easily available, right? The books for MBA might cost 5,000 bucks at the most. They are very easily available. It's about the application that you are able to do. The circle that you get in an IIM, you will not get in some tier 3 college for MBA, right? And for CFA, it's a distance learning program. The major advantage that I see of CFA over MBA is CFA, while you are pursuing your like whatever course you are doing, you do it parallelly. Anyone is aware by what time you can start CFA at the latest? Like how many, in which year of your graduation you can start? Second year, yes. So like I don't know what when your course is going to end. Generally it is 3 to 4 year courses, right? So you need to be 23 months away from the completion of your graduation program. This is the minimum requirement. So you can start preparing right now, you don't need to register. But when you are registering for your CFA exams, 23 months from the date of your graduation exam, like whenever it's the final exam, it needs to be there, right? Now CFA essentially trains you on these topics. I hope it is visible. These 10 topics. I'll just give you the names. Do you see like quantitative methods, economics, FSA, corporate issuers, fixed income, derivatives, then we have alternate investments, portfolio, ethics. Do you see any difference between 1 to 4 and then afterwards? There's one thing that is strikingly different between 1 to 4 and subjects after it. Anything? Can anyone point it out?
So the starting core is basically more of calculations.
More of calculations, okay. Achha, can anyone invest into quantitative methods? No. But can you invest into, let's start from number 5, fixed income, FDs. Can you invest? Yes. Okay. Can you invest into economics, not economy, economics? Can you invest? No, not possible. But can you do it for derivatives, options, futures? Anyone trading in the markets? Anyone from here? No? Okay. Investing? Have account with Grow, Zerodha, Upstocks? Yes? No? Okay. Then can you invest in financial statement analysis or corporate issuers? That is the internal management of the company. No. But we can invest into alternate assets like Bitcoin, or real estate, commodities, gold, silver, right? Similarly, when we combine all 4 of this, derivatives, fixed income, equity, alternate investments, it becomes a portfolio, right? So we learn these 4 tools that are given on the top. That is quantitative methods, economics, financial statement analysis. Anyone pursuing majors into accounting in this course? Anyone? No? You are still pursuing accounting? Anyone pursuing accounting? Yes? Yes? Okay. So it is not accounting that we do in CFA. It is financial statement analysis. That means analysis of accounting. P&L, balance sheet, cash flow statement, accountant would have already made. Now it is given to me and like, sir, can we invest in this company? How does its financial performance looks like? How it is going to do in future? Can you analyze and tell me? That's where my role starts. Similarly, corporate issuers is internal part of the company. Sometimes as an investor, you would want to invest in a company, but sometimes you are internal management of the company. You want to decide whether we should go for M&A activity or not. Should we distribute dividend? Should we like expand? Can we acquire one more, like can we start with new plant, new location, new products? That is all into corporate issuers, right? And then we have portfolio management and ethics. So portfolio is everything combined. Like I can talk about my parents. You also think about your specific house. My parents have some FD, They also have a piece of land where we live. They also have some gold. They also have some cash. They have also some mutual funds that they recently started thanks to all the Instagram influencers. So I'm saying like everything, fixed income, derivative, my parents don't do it, but alternate investment, that is real estate, gold, etc. And even in companies now, indirectly via mutual fund, they invest. So portfolio is when you combine all this. Now CFA is essentially a course on portfolio management. CFA is essentially a course on portfolio management. It is designed for portfolio management. But we learn everything because portfolio is everything from fixed income to equity to derivative to crude oil to Bitcoin to silver, everything. Because we learn about each and every asset class, the remaining ones are asset class. We learn about these asset class. Therefore, we are equipped to work into any industry. I can work as a derivative trader. I can work into corporate finance. I can work into equity markets. I can work into fixed income securities. Because CFA give me all these broader knowledge. Now CFA level 3 have some extra, like level 1 and level 2. CFA have 3 levels. Level 1, level 2. They are like application knowledge and working knowledge. Basic knowledge and intermediate knowledge, right? So basic knowledge is they are just telling you about these things exist and maybe some nitty-gritties about it. Then we have CFA level 2 that dives deep into the specific topics. So what do you think, like whatever knowledge you have basis that, is CFA level 1 difficult or level 2 difficult? What do you think? Level 1, 2? Okay. Level 3 is the easiest one, by the way, in my opinion. So like it, in level 1 we have almost 90 chapters. Level 2 we have 45 chapters. Level 3 we have 30 chapters. So the width wise level 1 is the most you can say difficult, but depth wise CFA level 2 is the one that is hardest. It is still considered to be hardest to crack. CFA level 3 is easy. So more oftenly you will find the candidates who have completed level 2 and they have progressed really well in their career, that they even don't get time to do level 3. But you should definitely pursue it. Okay. I'm going to share specific information about the CFA Institute, and I've already given you overview of curriculum. CFA Institute emerges from which country? USA, right? Because it is coming from USA, all the products that are coming from USA generally have those stars attached on their shoulders, whether it is Google, Meta, Instagram that we use, or maybe Nvidia, Intel, or not Boeing. Now Boeing is not considered to be really good product manufacturing company, but since it is coming from USA, by default USA is the largest economy. So the largest economy have the largest financial markets. Like Indian stock market is maybe 10% of what US stock market is, right? So they have largest economy. Because they have the largest economy, automatically there is a course, there is a need of existence of this course there, because they have such a massive economy, and now Indian economy is growing. So a lot of opportunities are going to come to you. So what US was maybe 50 years, 80 years before, this is where India is right now. From 80 years, CFA as a profession have grown, right? 80 years, CFA Institute exists from last 50, 60 years. So at least for 50, 60 years, I can say CFA as a profession have grown. So the professionals automatically have grown, right? So it is coming from USA. And sir, what if I don't want to work in USA? You can work in India. It is recognized almost in all the countries where you would want to work. All the countries, all the geographies where you would want to work. Anyone planning to work in Afghanistan, Nigeria? No, right? So there are very few limited geographies that are heavily impacted by terrorism, or they are still fighting for their own national identity. Their CFA Institute doesn't like conduct the exam. But other parts of the world where you would want to work, CFA is recognized. It's the best CFA finance course that is available, right? Finance. Now MBA is another side of things where you're dealing with a lot of management related work. Like it is more people related. This is more numbers related. Okay. Now eligibility, I think a lot of you are already aware. I've already told that if you are an undergrad student who is going to complete his graduation in next 23 months, you can register with CFA Institute. Let's say you are having 3 years course, you started in 2025, like just maybe a month back. Then the latest exam that you can give, your course will be ending in 25 to 26, 26 to 27, 27 to 28. So you can give exam in 2026, like I'm assuming from here, so 1 year from here, you can give your exam. But exam preparation, maybe it takes almost 6-7 months, right? So it's better in the first year of your college, after 6-7 months, you enjoy your college life, you settle down in college. Then after 6-7 months, you start preparing. Don't register. Register is a big commitment. Anyone knows how much CFA per level cost? 1.4 lakhs. So it depends actually. There are two slabs available. CFA Institute have recently revised these guidelines. Earlier it was $900 plus $350 for registration. Now it is flat, $1140 if you give them money in advance. That is called as early bird registration. Or we have $1490. That is, then there is GST on top of it. Thank you to Nirmala Sitharaman. So we have in total 1,18,000 if you provide them money early. How early? At least 6-7 months. Right? If you want to give exam in May 2026, you can register now. So like, and you will get early bird discount, right? So approximately 1,18,000. And for if you decide to give exam like later on, so it will be 1,55,000, right? CFA level 1 exams, I'll be keeping my discussion close to CFA level 1 because I guess a lot of you are around that. Just a second. CFA level 1 exams are conducted 4 times in a year. Anyone knows these months? In which month they are conducted? February, yes. May, August, November. So then next will be next. So every 3 months difference, right? So you start from February and then keep on adding 3 months, right? So CFA level 1 exams are conducted 4 times. Level 2 exams 3 times. Level 3 exams 2 times, right? Right now let us focus on CFA level 1. Now CFA level 1 exams are entirely MCQ based. So you need to study for approximately 450 plus hours. Now how you manage your college, how you manage other things, that is up to you. In a week I can see you have to study 18 hours including classes. So approximately in 6 months you will end up studying for 82 hours. I have done the calculation. For 82 hours more or less we need 450 plus. Anyone knows what is the pass rate for CFA exams? 40%ish, right? Sometimes it increases, sometimes it falls. So will you feel good once you come out of exam hall? Let's say you came out of CFA level 1 exam hall and you are feeling, yes, I have a 40% probability of passing. Will you feel good about it? No, right? We need at least 80-90% probability in our favor and maybe 10-20% God's, it's our bad day or something, we may end up failing as well. So CFA Institute says you need to study for 300 hours. I will say because you are putting almost 1 to 1.5 lakh rupees, why to risk it? It's better you put 100-150 hours extra. So that is 450 hours you need to study so that you can be almost 80 to 90% sure that you will clear. Sir, how you came up with this 80-90% number? Because I have been training for CFA candidates for many years now. I have seen all the results. I know how much you need to study every subject, chapter by chapter, so that you end up clearing the exam. Now CFA level 1, it is an MC, like level 1, level 2 is MCQ based exam, and even 50% of level 3 is MCQ based exam. MCQ based means tick, tick, tick. So one question followed by 3 options. Anyone have watched Student of the Year? First, Alia Bhatt? Yes? Do you remember there is a scene in that paper is left, Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di. That's what you are supposed to do in CFA exam in case you are running short of time. Because 180 questions, you have 180 questions, it is divided into 2 sessions. One session of 2 hours 12 minutes, then a 20-minute optional, 30-minute optional break, and then another session of 2 hours 12 minutes. So 2 hours 12 minutes plus 2 hours 12 minutes, 4 hours 24 minutes. In 4 hours 24 minutes, you have to solve 180 questions, approximately 1.5 minutes per question. So if in case you are running late and you have to finish the entire paper, let's say you are left with 10 questions, 5 minutes. Tick, 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 tick in first 30-40 seconds, and remaining 4 minutes you should use to attempt the questions correctly as much as you can. That means the point that I want to make is there is no negative marking. right? No negative marking, tick tick for level 1, level 2. Level 3 also 50% it is MCQ based, 50% you have to type. Earlier it used to be write, now you have to type. And also there also you don't need extremely good English. Simple, this is the problem, this is the solution, move ahead. Now in our college generally we have questions like anyone have given exams recently? Any exam that you have given recently in your college? No? No? Okay. Generally, let's talk about like how my college was. So the questions were define this, describe this, advantages of this, disadvantages of this. They create a case study, but ultimately they will ask something like, can you give us can you give us advantages, disadvantages, description of XYZ? CFAI is the institute that conducts the exam. They gives you questions like application based. This is the problem. You are head of this company. How will you solve this problem? Very simple, right? So you need very good problem solving ability. All the problems that you might end up facing in your real life, a lot of simulations for it is already given to you in your curriculum and in your exams. Okay. Now CFA level 3, I'm just broadly touching upon it. You need to write. But what you need to write is also specifically to the solution of the problem. In our college generally or college or even school board exams as well, we focused on at least this answer should be 8 line, 10 line, 1 pager. We don't want all this in CFA. Fees I have already discussed. Curriculum I have already discussed. One more advantage that I see of CFA over MBA. MBA it's costly and few can afford, few cannot afford. CFA also is relatively like it's relatively cheaper, but in absolute terms it is costly, right? 3-4 lakh rupees you need to deposit over 2 to 3 years. But I am saying there is a scholarship also available. Scholarship is available need basis. In case you need financially some financial help, apply for the scholarship, right? So CFA Institute is going to ask you one small essay of 300 words where you describe yourself. Why do you need money? Academically, if you are good, what you plan to do once you complete CFA, right? Tell them. So it's an essay that you need to write and then they will get it, right? So this is one more thing. If you get scholarship, your fees significantly reduces from 1,18,000 for that level early bird or 1,55,000 standard registration. It reduces significantly around 30 to 40,000. So you are getting a discount of almost 60,000 to 1 lakh rupees. Then there are student scholarship. Now, if in case your college have tie-up, then only you will get, otherwise you will not get. And professor scholarship is for us, so you can't get it. But it is addressing everyone, right? Financially, if you need it, you can get it. If your college have tie-up, you can get it. In case, like if you are not a student, but you are involved into academics and want to pursue it, then also you can get it. Okay. Now, this is broadly how you should be studying for CFA. Everyone have their own life. It is a very, very broader structure. I guess there is some text issue, but anyways, I'll just resolve this. What I'm saying is, minimum I'll suggest you to spend 6 months, minimum 6 months, right? How much you have to study every day? Let's say you are joining any class XYZ, right? Not QuintEdge or any specific class that you want. You will go and attend class for two hours every day, right? So it will be 10 hours in a week, Monday to Friday. Then we have 10 hours is gone. You have to study 8 hours by yourself. In 7 days, you have to study 8 hours by yourself. That is approximately 1 to 1.5 hours of study. Is it too much to ask for this qualification? No. The problem is you have to study 1 to 1.5 hours for 6 months consistently. Generally, we don't have this habit, right? We generally want to prepare what Rancho and the team used to do in 3 Idiots. 1 night before, 2 nights before, right? That is the only problem. Other than this, study hours, I think I have written here 480. Then I am suggesting it is up to you. Whenever you are studying for CFA, it's better you start applying that. Like there is a chapter on equity valuations on CFA. You learn how to value a share. Why to keep it only to your book? Just start applying in the real markets. Don't trade with that, but at least you can come up with fair value using your own, like you can come up with the fair value from your own numbers, right? Then completion, I'll suggest you should do, like if you have 6 months, 4.5 months you complete your syllabus, 1.5 months you keep for the revision part. Okay, and this is applicable for like all the attempts, level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 2 is detailed but lesser number of chapters. Level 1 is less detailed but more number of chapters. Level 3, by the time you reach level 3, most probably you will be working in a company at decent enough profile. So there is lack of time. That's why intentionally CFA Institute has kept lower syllabus, like lesser number of chapters. Okay. So in case you have any questions related to CFA, feel free to ask. Or in case you have any questions related to MBA, feel free to ask. More than happy to answer.
So I wanted to ask if there's any further education after CFA that you think is worth it.
Okay. So what to do post CFA, his question is. So it actually, see, at your college level, it is fine you pursue any course in which your interest area is there. Now, once you are pursuing or once you have done CFA, most probably you will be working in a corporate or maybe having something of your own. Now, basis your career requirements, like what will help me to grow. So a lot of candidates pursue FRM because from CFA, that is return side of things, they want to move towards risk side of things. So they pursue FRM. After CFA, I'll say essentially you need to learn financial modeling and valuations. So do it with CFA, post CFA, it needs to be done. Like CFA Institute also have started now making it mandatory, something called as practical skill module, PSM, where one of the 20-30 hours module is financial modeling and valuation. So FRM as a course, financial modeling as a skill. Other than this, you need to decide where I want to specialize. CFA is a specialization into portfolio management. But I don't want portfolio management specialization. I want to work in, let's say, real estate. So there is a course called CAIA where you learn about alternate investments, specialize into that. So you decide your path, like how your career requires it, right? So if you are, let's say, working into quant team, there is a course called CQF, right? Like hardly we have very handful of people who have done it. It's very deep into quants and finance. Depends on your like career requirement, right? Job requirement. Any other question?
No, thank you.
Any other question? Yes.
If someone wants to do both CFA and MBA, is there any way that CFA before MBA is more advantageous than CFA after MBA?
Yes. So MBA colleges, especially if you are targeting the tier 1 colleges, a lot of candidates intentionally do CFA these days so that they can glorify their application that I have done this, right? So CFA level 1, you can pursue level 1, even level 2 before you start with your MBA applications, right? So that really helps your application to shine. Other than this, whatever you are going to learn in finance in MBA. So MBA courses are designed in this way. Like first year will be generalized management and second year is your specialization, right? So whatever you are going to learn in MBA in specialization, a lot of that might already be covered in CFA. Okay. So these are the two advantages.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to ask? Please.
Sir, so is it really beneficial to do MBA after CFA, provided that I want to get into investment banking?
Okay. So see, investment banking industry, I'll divide into three parts. Like everyone working at an investment bank is not an investment banker, right? Let's say accountant is working at an they definitely need accountant, but he's not an investment banker, right? So to be called as an investment banker, so investment banking also have lot of, we call it as floors.
Okay.
So floors are basically divisions. Like investment bank have a division called as IBD, investment banking division. Within IBD, there are subdivisions called as ECM, DCM, equity capital market and debt capital markets. Equity capital market is that are dealing with IPO or maybe public issues, right issues, right? Or maybe private placement sometime. And then we have DCM, where they are dealing with bonds, fixed income securities, right? So if you want to get into front end side of IBD, so IBD again can be divided into mid-level. Mid-level is where you're sitting behind the computers and preparing, doing the number crunching, structuring it. And then there is a team that will go to the client's place where the investment banking is glorified, that you will be traveling, staying in fancy hotels. It just like 50 people you can't take to client's office, right? It have to be maybe 5, 7, 10 people. So if you want to reach there, investment banking, if you want to reach the top tier of investment banking, MBA from top colleges really help. CFA plus MBA is a deadly combination in that case. But someone wants, so I don't want to travel. I'm comfortable. I'm working. I'm comfortable working, but I don't want to and fro travel. In that case, or I don't want such glorified life. In that case, working at the back end also, for that CFA is perfectly fine. For front end role specifically, because you need a lot of communication and presentation skill, MBA is good.
Okay.
But clubbing it with CFA really makes a difference because you will be good with presentation and you understand the numbers as well.
Right.
I'll give you one instance. I was working at Bain, very senior partner at Bain. Do you guys understand enterprise value, EV?
Not
No?
really.
Achha, okay. So he asked a very basic question to us, and we were like, why don't he understand this? Like, he's at such senior position. He asked something like, what is equity share?
Okay.
You should know, yaar, you are at such senior level. But like she totally forgot this, and she must be working at the front end from last 15 years. She totally forgot what that basic is. Then she was asking. Then we later on realized, yeah, her job is not to know this. Her job is to present. Whatever we tell her, she will present it. Right? So in that case, MBA and CFA is very good combination for front end jobs. Otherwise, it is like perfectly fine to go with CFA alone.
Right.
So, sir, instead of MBA, can we also get into executive MBA where the companies invest in us and they give us the opportunity to do it with their affiliated universities?
If someone is sponsoring your MBA, go for it. But otherwise, like MBA, I'll prefer like a 2-year program is better than 1-year
Okay.
program. Like Pallavi can add more on the MBA. She have better experience than me.
Executive MBA can be done. Again, as Sir said, that if somebody is sponsoring by definitely add on to your profile as well. So if you have already done with your Google certification like CFA, then having an MBA and understanding how to lead and manage things then definitely fine. Like execution, you know how to execute things, you know how to lead. That's always a good.
Right.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
So some students prepare on their own for CFA and everything. So what's the viability of self-preparation in the course of CFA?
So self-preparation, see, I'll tell you, I've done CA as well, right? So I've prepared entire CA by self. Can it be done? Yes. But CA ka fees is very low. Like I used to pay 3,000-4,000 rupees for one exam, right? One attempt. For CFA, stakes are very high. Almost 1 lakh to 1.5 lakh rupees. So consider prep provider, whosoever you choose, as an insurance that you are buying. That in case I get stuck anywhere, he will help me. But otherwise, as such, is it required? Answer is no. It's any distance learning program, don't need any mentor. But should you take help of any mentor? In general, I'll say yes. If you are already investing almost 3-4 lakh rupees, consider investing maybe 40, 50, 60,000 extra so that you don't have to, because if you fail in exam, the cost is again, you have to deposit 1.5 lakh rupees. It's better to pay 20, 30,000 to an institute that helps you to sail through in case you are stuck anywhere, right? And then in the whole process, you end up getting their notes, their experience, their mocks, private lectures. So that really helps. So my suggestion is you should go for mentor if you have slight doubts that I may not be able to clear. If you are very confident that I don't need anyone, like I was for my CFA as well as CA. So I said, okay, I don't need a mentor. I'm perfectly fine doing it. But what I did was I took very long to complete my exams. Like CA, I was just student, but I was managing QuintEdge and other things. So it took me very long. So one attempt, it was like 1.5, 2 years. Problem, like that was my specific case. Because every attempt I have exam, the students have exam. The choice is whether you study for yourself or give them last minute notes, preparation, etc. So if in case you can avail that time bandwidth with you, you can go for self preparation as well.
Is CFA a good combination with CA and is it manageable with that?
Let me, like, if in case you allow me, can I share my journey with?
Yeah, sure.
So I started my CA and I developed interest into finance because I was introduced to finance as a subject in CA, right? Now, both of them ultimately you have to make a choice whether you want to move towards accounting, auditing, taxation side of things, or whether you want to be on the finance side of things. Someday you will also have to make this choice. CFA gives you extremely good knowledge in finance. So whatever base I developed in my CA, I capitalized it on in my finance, like CFA, FRM courses, right? But if you want to go to accounting, taxation side of things, then it doesn't make sense. But if you want to go towards finance side of things, then it is a good choice to have. I'm not saying like it's a perfect combination, but it's a good choice to have because the way CA builds your base, no other course can build that base, right? Because any course CMA you'd put 5 years.
Yeah.
Any other course you put hardly 2.5 years, right? So that makes all the difference. So it's a good combination, but it's not the perfect combination. We have already started pursuing it. Maybe you have done your intermediate, then you should continue doing it. But ultimately, make up your mind that what should I do? And exams, though, I'll give and clear and pass. Like I have not done tax wala, audit wala thing other than in my internship article. From the very first day, I was working into an investment bank because I was very clear because I have done in audit, taxation, etc. I can't do it. So if you are very clear about it, decide your basis your career goals, pick up the path that you would want to move in.
Thank you.
I have a question about FRM.
Please ask.
When's a good time to pursue FRM, and is it good to combine it with MBA and CFA as such?
Okay, so you want to do CFA, FRM, and MBA.
I am still deciding what I want to do, but I want to do something in finance.
Okay.
So that's why I'm considering all opportunities.
Okay. So CFA, like as you have seen, it's a very, very generalized course into other things and specializes into portfolio management, right? So CFA for students, CFA plus FRM is really good combination. While you are in college, you can complete entire FRM. It's a very welcoming course, right? There is no like if a eighth grader wants to give exam, he can give it. FRMA, there is no minimum eligibility requirement. It's very welcoming in that case. CFA plus FRM, there is one more benefit of doing them together is there is some overlap into the course. Like derivatives, it's same. Fixed income, it's same, right? Because quants also it is same. So there is good overlap as well. So if you prepare for one exam, automatically almost 30-40% of the other exam is prepared. So doing them together at student level makes a lot of sense. But if in case, let's say you are a 40-year-old working professional, if in case you had asked me this question, then I would have said, whatever you want to pursue, decide on the basis of your job. At student level, yes, it makes really good sense. Now, combining MBA with this, CFA plus FRM, now like it will be too much if you ask me, like CFA plus FRM plus MBA. So you need to decide. It's better. Like I have experience of Bain, so all the students were like at some point in time decided to do MBA. All of my colleagues, but they decided it after 2 years of experience, right? So consider FRM, CFA, do it, work in industry for a year or two, and parallelly prepare for CAT, GMAT, whatever you want, and then you decide I want to go for MBA or not, right?
Thank you.
Welcome. Any other question? No? Okay. In case you have any question, like feel free to connect with us over here, right? Maybe you can take a picture or you can simply Google QuintEdge. Feel free to call on the number and counselors will help you. Okay.